Hey, EJ here. I wanted to make a quick video about how to make some samples in Logic, and so here we go. Basically, when I look for samples, I pretty much just go on YouTube and surf different stuff I've been listening to, or I'll go on. Actually, sometimes what I do is I'll go on whosampled.com. This is my favorite technique, and sort of see what what people have been sampling, or you can sort of go into the charts and see what I like most influential artists. You can see who's been sampled the most, and sort of get some ideas of artists to search on YouTube. One of my favorites is John Coltrane. There's always good stuff. So you can pretty much go through the list, figure out something that stands out to you, and give them a listen. Let's see what this one's about. I got too much drums. We want long held out notes with no drums, so we can sample that. That's usually at the beginning or endings of songs. That's what I'm talking about. See, the drums are basically just really loose hi-hats, and you can barely hear it, so that's perfect to sample. So what we can do is, I have a Chrome extension, but you can figure out some way to download the YouTube video. And this is where a lot of my samples come from. I should get the 1080p. Higher definition is better audio, but I wanted to go and download quickly. So if you open up Logic Pro X 10, new Logic, you can create a new project and just really drag the video in, and there's some options that you can use to make sure that it doesn't open the video too, that it just extracts the audio. So you just drag the video in. See, I have, normally this is checked, open the video. You want to unclick that and just extract the audio track. And now you'll notice that there's a little lock sign up here. I don't know why that is, but if you bounce it in place, you'll just get another copy of it that isn't associated with that file that you imported and is held in your Logic file. And I've had a lot of problems when I try and work directly with the file. When you bounce it it's a lot easier. So if you play it, sometimes I try and determine roughly what the tempo is, and my favorite is just this website where you tap the BPM. I used to have an iPhone app for it too, so we're trying. It's not even worth it for this one. So sometimes you can tap the beat and sort of adjust the tempo to make sure that things line up on one, and then chop it up based on the measures that you see in Logic. But Logic also has a pretty cool convert to new sampler track. When you convert it, you can either convert it based on regions that you've cut, or Logic will analyze the transients and see where the different things hit. So it'll try and figure out what you want to sample. So it's kind of a quick way to pull in a sample and play with it without having to chop it or figure out the BPM or any of that. So now let's cut it into MIDI notes, which are pretty long, actually. But that's okay. So now we kind of want to plug in our sampler. I have to move some shit on my desk. Okay, now I have my sampler pad plugged in, and we don't actually need any of these notes anymore because I can hit them directly. So let's try that out. So that's just me pressing down, but you notice that they only play as long as I hold it down. So if I hit it really quick, it plays the beginning. If I hold it down, it plays the whole sample. That's not exactly what we want. We want it to all play one shot. So what you do is you go into the EXS24 plugin, and right here is the sample it's pulling in. So you can go in and edit that, and you get this EX24 instrument editor, which is full of tons of crazy stuff. But basically all we want to do is select all by hitting Command A, and just change them all over to one shot. And that means that the sample plays all the way through when you press the button. Hear that though? That's because different things are playing over one another, because we have to set it so that things cancel each other out. So when you press a long one and then another long one, they don't play over each other, they just play the next one in the sequence. So you can go over here and change voices. Normally it's at 16, so it can play 16 different samples at once. Just tune that down to 1, so it can only play 1. So when you go between them, they chop. So now that we have our samples all set up, we kind of want to throw in a beat. So let's add some drums. Now I just pull in stuff from Ultrabeat pretty much. Not really what we want. I kind of like that house kit. I don't like. Alright, let's start with something simple, and then I'll just make it Ultrabeat. Whatever. It has these weird layer groups. Drum kit. The deep house. That works. Cool. So let's make a loop. You can make it sort of whatever tempo you want. I know this is like a slower sample, so I want like a slower BPM. So I'm gonna make it like 96, something like that. And nope. There we go. So now we have our beat down, and we can sort of play around with how we want to do the samples on top of it. Let's turn the metronome off. So basically you sort of want to play around and figure out which samples are cool to use, and then just go between them. I like this one. This one too. So let's try and find one that, like, I'll try and record something I like. I like that one. Yeah, it's a little empty, but get the idea. That's it. That's how you make a beat and throw some samples on it.